Hello, Federica. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, good, good. Good. Ready to go? Right, guys. Good morning, America. Good afternoon, Europe, and good evening, Australia. Sully Joe here for another La Magic Post-Chalk WoodUbend project. Today, Federica, I'm going to start a project, but I won't finish it till next week. So there are going to be 2 episodes of it because it's so detailed. I'm going to need two lives to finish it off in, basically.
Ok, quindi buongiorno a tutti dal laboratorio di Leeds da WoodUbend e Sully Joe. Oggi cominceremo con un progetto che in realtà verrà terminato poi la prossima settimana, perché è un po' più lungo.
So I'm going to be creating a wall flower pocket. Do you know what that is, Federica?
I don't know if you have to explain a little bit more.
Okay.
I'm just trying to...
Basically, it's a plate that sits on the wall and that you can put flowers in. So it's like a flower vase that sits on the wall.
Ok. Quindi quello che Solly andrà a creare sarà una specie di vaso che può essere appeso a un muro, quindi una tasca in cui si vanno proprio a posizionare per esempio dei fiori o cose.
So I'm going to be using a lot of broken mouldings. We're not going to be doing much with the broken mouldings today because we've got the centre, but that's how it's going to look, roughly. Okay?
Quindi questa è la generale di come verrà, come sono posizionati i fregi.
So I'm going to take all the broken mouldings off and show you what I've started with and why I'm putting broken mouldings around the perimeter of the board.
E ci spiegherà poi come mai va a utilizzare questi fregi rossi e profondi che va a posizionare poi sul perimetro.
So here's my board, but the person that cut it for me, the handyman, didn't do a very good job. Can you see it's not round, it's all jagged. And that's why I'm going to be putting WoodUbend around it to hide the imperfections.
Quindi vediamo da questa tavola che in realtà non è perfettamente tonda, ci sono qualche imperfezione qua e là, ed è proprio per questo si utilizzerà poi i fregi per andare a nasconderle.
Now the reason I've taken the mouldings away is because I'm going to be doing a lot of stenciling on here. If I put the mouldings on first, the mouldings are going to get in the way of my stencil. It's not going to be easy for me, so that's why I've taken the mouldings. Well, I'm just going to get an apron on.
Quindi adesso ci ha spiegato semplicemente che è andata a togliere i fregi perché verranno messi più tardi, questo perché prima di tutto andrà a fare degli stencil. Ovviamente posizionando i fregi prima andrebbero poi a essere un po' in mezzo allo stencil.
So I'm going to be doing a lot of crackle on this as well, crackle and stenciling. So my first colour, my base colour, is going to be vintage.
E andremo anche a riprodurre anche molto crackle. Partiamo con il colore di base che è vintage oggi.
It's a brand new tin. And I'm going to give it a good stir. Now this is a really beautiful vintagey chocolate colour, and I always love using this colour on my bases, and it creates great shading as well, shadowy shading.
E come sapete il vintage è il nostro marrone dai toni molto cioccolatosi e quello di appunto uno dei suoi colori preferiti, le piace molto anche per creare sfumature diverse come base.
So I'm taking my magic brush, and I'm just going to, I think we're only going to need 1 coat of this. I don't envision putting 2 coats on. We'll see. If we do, it's going to need another coat.
Adesso vediamo, inizio a stendere una prima mano se sarà necessaria anche una seconda.
So I'm going to put crackle on top of this. So this is the colour, this will be the colour of the cracks, basically.
Quindi appunto poi sopra il vintage andrà a utilizzare il crackle, per cui il colore delle crepe sarà proprio vintage.
I'm just going to dry that off really fast. I do need a second coat. Or do I? Now this is only going to serve for colour purposes. So no, it's got great coverage, to be honest. So I'm not going to need a second coat. Look at that coverage. Look at that.
Potete vedere quanto è coprente, appunto, quindi una sola mano oggi è sufficiente e vado a sciuparlo molto.
And let me know where you're joining us from, guys, and let me know what the weather is like. It's cold here in the UK, and it's threatening to rain. There we are, that's nice and dry. And now we're going to come in with the crackling gel.
Una volta asciutto proseguo con il crackle gel.
And we've made that the magic brush. And I'm going to use, I love this brush. This is one of the brushes that Elisa sent me. And I really
E
do.
andrà a usare uno dei nostri pennelli. It's called we call it the Architetto.
The architect, oh nice. I love the way Lisa gives names to all her brushes and appliances. We just have codes. So what's the weather like in Castellamante, Federica?
It started to becoming very cold. It's rain, not that good.
Same here. So I'm really working it into the surface, and I'm just going to smooth it down. I'm not playing with it too much because, as I say every time, crackle is a temperamental product. It's like my cat, it doesn't like to be messed about with a lot.
Quindi come sapete ricordate sempre che quando andate a utilizzare il gel è un prodotto che avevamo utilizzato abbastanza velocemente, quindi l'ha steso bene sulla superficie, l'ha lisciato e basta, adesso lo lascia così.
And popping my lid back on, and that can go to one side. And then you're just going to have to bear with me, guys, for another couple of minutes whilst I dry this off. Then you get the crackle on. Right, you can get the paint on. I know this is boring watching crackle dry, and I usually do this beforehand, but I just didn't have the time today.
Ciao, ciao Federica.
And when you dry and crackle, keep your heat gun moving, you don't want to burn it.
Ovviamente quello che ti sta dicendo Soldi quando andate ad asciugare il gel crackle, come in questo caso
You can use a heat, you can so you can use a hairdryer, it just takes a lot longer. But you can't burn your crackle or your coat with a hairdryer. Hello, Ella. Hi, Georgia. So I took my eye off the ball there and I've actually burnt it, it bubbled up there, so we'll see if it still works. So, I'm now going to go over it with this beautiful, one of my favourite colours, Olivia.
adesso dopo aver asciugato bene il gel crackle va a utilizzare Olivia. C'è un puntino in questo appunto che è stata un po' meno attenta e ha creato delle bolle per il centro come vedete, quindi vediamo se si creano delle crepe anche.
And again, I'm going to give that a really good mix.
Anche qua ricordate sempre di andare a girare molto bene quando siete il barattolo.
Always mix your products, guys, always. These people that come out with these products that say they don't need to be shaken or stirred, it's rubbish. Because gravity always pulls the heavy solubles towards the bottom of the can, so, and you'll get your water on the top and your lighter liquids. So always, always, always stir your products. So, I need another brush now.
Quindi come diceva Soldi, ricordate sempre di mescolare molto molto bene i prodotti perché vanno sempre mescolati.
Sorry about that. So with crackle, you need to be fast, okay, as fast as you can. I've tried to slow down the curdling process with our crackle, but you still need to get in there fast. And I'm going to put quite a thick layer of paint on.
Quindi come sapete quando andate a lavorare con il crackle dovete essere piuttosto veloci. Adesso va a stendere Olivia e vuole uno strato abbastanza spesso di vernice.
I think this is such a beautiful colour and it's great for this season. So, you know, once this is finished, I'm thinking about having autumn colour flowers and leaves in here. You know, like you get your dark reds and your dark purples and the trees and the flowers. So I just think this will... Sorry.
Olivia le piace molto ed è anche un colore molto stagionale adesso, molto autunnale e probabilmente appunto poi metterà dei fiori che andranno molto bene come colori.
Right. Now I can leave that to dry on its own. It's already starting to crack there, you can see. I'm getting some crackles, but I'm going to speed the crackling process up with my heat gun. Again, I'm going to be really careful so as not to burn the paint. I don't want it bubbling. and can you see the patch? That's where I burnt it, and it's not crackled. So if you burn it, it will not crack. But other than that, there you go. And I've got just the effect I wanted there. I'm just going to lie that down, finish off the crackling.
Quindi vedete che l'unica parte in cui le crepe non sono fiorite è dove
Right, so that is my crackle done. I'm just going to pop you down a bit more so you can see, my friends, what I'm doing. Now I'm going to do some stenciling, and I'm going to be using various colours. I'm thinking about using Toto di Zucca and Elixir, which is a lighter green. I've also got my Posh Chalk metallic paste in green bronze. I thought that might be nice. And I've got a couple of pigments here. I've got the orange gold and the lemon gold. But before I start, I'm just going to get some glue for my stencil.
Quindi adesso quello che si diceva poi il prossimo passaggio saranno degli stencil e utilizzeranno diversi prodotti, soprattutto il zucca, il clear, una pasta appunto della linea Pochol e i due pigmenti che abbiamo visto, che sono il lemon gold e l'orange gold.
So, before I do anything else, there's a knife there. Theo is just, sorry, Connor is on holiday, so we're a little bit disorganised today. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some spray to the back of this. It's a low fat glue, and it'll just allow, because I've got crackle on here, I don't want the paint bleeding through. Thank you. I don't want the paint bleeding through.
Prima di tutto va a spostare della colla low tack sullo stencil per farlo aderire bene alla superficie mentre va a farlo. E tra l'altro poi voleva scusarci un po' della disorganizzazione perché Connor oggi è in vacanza e quindi c'è bisogno di un po' più di lavoro.
Now you may be asking me why have I put the paper underneath. That's because it gets really sticky and I don't want my substrate getting horrible and sticky. So I'm going to put that to one side until it tacks up. It takes about 30 seconds for it to tack up, and I've got a second one here that I'm going to use as well.
In questo momento ha messo la carta sotto anche perché la superficie diventa molto appiccicosa e quindi non vuole ovviamente che la tavola sotto diventi appiccicosa. Adesso lo sta passando su un secondo stencil, ci vogliono circa un 30 secondi prima che faccia effetto.
Nice and tidy, and put that aside. So I'm just going to open up my various products that I'm going to be using just to make sure that everything's okay. Give them a stir if needs be. Can you get me some more lollipop sticks there?
Some lollipop sticks?
Lollipop sticks.
Where are they?
They're on that bottom shelf there, middle crate. So that's the green bronze, that is the Posh Chalk metallic paste.
Quindi questa è la pasta green bronze.
And bring me some more stirring sticks as well. Bring me another stirring stick. Oh. I need some stirring sticks. That's the, I don't know whether I'm going to use this, but that is the Torta Zipura, and I think somebody's left the lid off it because it's gone very stiff. That's okay. I'll just add a little bit of water and that will soften up.
Con questo è il nostro torta di zucca. In questo caso appunto ci dice che probabilmente non è stato chiuso benissimo, infatti è un po' più dentro, non è un problema, aggiungerà un pochino d'acqua.
We've also got Elysia, which is a lovely light pink. Again, that's a little bit stiff, but with the addition of a little bit of water, it will be back to normal. So that's that colour. I might leave that nice and stiff actually, because it could serve as kind of a raised texture for the stencil. And the last
mescolato ed è un pochino più denso, sempre velocissimo, con un po' d'acqua, sapete che torna assolutamente a posto. In realtà in questo caso potrebbe utilizzarlo un pochino più denso, così da dare un aspetto più materico.
And the last product that I'm going to be using, my friends, is our Posh Chalk pigment. So I've got two colours. It's getting rather warm. So I'm going to be using orange gold and lemon gold. Again, the orange gold is a very autumny colour, but I think it's a little bit too bright for this piece, so I'm going to mix it with some lemon gold and just cool it down a little bit.
E quindi andrà ad utilizzare per questi due pigmenti praticamente mescolati insieme, l'orange gold e il lemon gold.
So I'm going to do 1 scoop of the orange gold, and then I think I'm going to do half a scoop of the lemon gold. And I'm going to mix that up with my infuser.
Vedete che procede con l'infuser per crearli.
And mix that up really well. Now the great thing with Posh Chalk pigments and the infuser, you can create the consistency of your choice. That looks like gold leaf right now. I do want it a little bit thicker than that, so I'm going to add some more infuser.
Quindi come sapete la cosa conveniente nella creazione dei pigmenti è che in base a quanto infuser andate a mettere raggiungete diversi spessori, quindi se lo volete più liquido potete utilizzare più infuser.
I'm going to come in with my paintbrush now to just get it all together. And there you have it. The more infuser you apply to your mix, the more it becomes like a paint mixture or even a wash. There you are, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That's fabulous. Right, so time to stencil, my friends. And with all these options, I'm going to be using 2 brushes. And it's going to be multicoloured, but I'm going to try and blend in all these different products as I'm going.
So listen, I've got a question here from Paola because she just entered and she was wondering how did you mix the pigments? So if you can just show again the products for the pigments.
Oh yeah. So these are the pigments. It's a very fine powder. Okay, they come in various colours, and then you just mix it with our infuser. Ok?
Quindi Paola, vedete che vi ho fatto rivedere appunto i pigmenti che ho utilizzato in polvere che sono stati mescolati con i pigmenti infuser, che è un prodotto appunto studiato apposta per la creazione del pigmento liquido.
So now I've got to think about the composition of my piece, okay? So this flower here, this is one of our WoodUbend Mouldings. When I heat it up, it will become concave and it will sit on the surface so that I can put flowers inside it, okay? So I've got to think about what colours I want where. So I think that I want it quite bright round here with oranges and to give it a nice background, a bit of a contrast. So I'm going to start off with some torta da zucca.
rimarrà curvo, quindi sarà poi dove verranno i fiori, e parte proprio con il torta di frutta, perché verso il centro vuole un colore più brillante.
And I'm not going all over the stencil with this, I'm just popping it, I'm just stubbing it into sporadic places because I've got
Vedete che non va a riprodurre tutto lo stencil, ma faccio il caso di
just because I've got all these other colours to use that I want to start blending in. Right, so that is I'm not going to use any more of that colour. I'm now going to come in with some Elixir, and I'm using the same brush.
adesso prosegue con un po' di elixir.
And the colours now are mixing in situ, so you've got the orange and the green, and they're making like a light browny colour, which is a great colour for autumn.
E vedete che adesso in questo momento i colori si stanno anche mescolando, quindi ci sono parti in cui si intravede di più l'arancione, parti in cui si intravede di più il verde, parti in cui si mescolano creando un leggero tono marroncino che è molto in linea appunto con i colori autunnali.
So now I've got my base colours down, guys. I'm just going to come in and really go over all that. Make sure the paint is sitting in the grooves of the stencil. Because the next...
Che ha questi colori si aspetta che siano ben posizionati.
So now I'm going to bring some bling in. I'm using my green bronze push chalk metallic paste. And
E adesso vado ad aggiungere questo di luce.
and I'm concentrating on the areas that have not filled on the stencil. But again, I'm really stubbing it in so that it does mix in with the colour next to it whilst it's still wet.
E parte concentrandosi ovviamente sulle parti che ancora non sono state riempite dello stencil, ma prosegue facendo in modo che comunque tutti i colori vadano ad amalgamarsi bene.
And last but not least, I'm going to bring the pigments in now. Using the same brush. Can you see how I've toned it down from that orange gold? Really driving that paint home. I want a nice impression when I peel the stencil off. And this is one of the reasons I put the glue on the stencil, because I'm putting a lot of paint on here and I don't want it to bleed. I don't want it to go under the stencil and make a mess.
Quindi ovviamente è andato a utilizzare una colla per stencil di apposta proprio perché sta utilizzando molti prodotti e non vuole che il colore appunto appunto vada a scordare tutto lo stencil.
So, there we have it. It is now time for a drum roll and the stencil reveal. So I'm just going to peel that up. And there you can see all that beauty. Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
Quindi vedete che il risultato è stato ottenuto in questo caso.
And obviously you're getting parts that are flat and parts that are, I can't get it on the camera though, parts that are actually metallic as well. So I'm just going to dry that off really fast so I can show you how to repeat your stencil. So these are repeatable stencils, so I'm just going to come in and I'm going to there we go, so that will now enable me to carry on. I'm going to start
Quindi
going
adesso
with
vedete.
the same colours. I'm only going to use a little bit of this because I just want that in the centre there, I don't want it all over the board.
Quindi appunto vedete che dopo averlo asciugato bene ci ha fatto vedere che sono riposizionabili questi stencil, quindi va a riposizionarlo e riprendere di nuovo con i colori. Inizia con il torso di luce, però utilizza torna perché non lo vuole tutta la tavola.
And I'm bringing the paint again over the area that I've already done so that it mixes in, so that it blends in, so I don't see like a straight line there. That is not what I want.
E inoltre va a ripassare anche sulla parte già fatta, quindi passa leggermente anche lì sopra per far sì che appunto si prenda un'intimità e non avere un impatto netto.
Again, last but not least, coming in with my pigments. And there we go. Let's see if I've done a good job in blending it. And yes, I have. You can't see anything there. So I'm just going to come down here and carry on.
Quindi vedete che non si vede lo stacco netto tra una ripetizione e l'altra dello stencil, e adesso continua sull'ultima parte.
Doing exactly the same thing, same colours, using less and less of the orange as I go.
E vedete che adesso man mano va a diminuire ancora un po' l'arancione utilizzato. So here I have Nicoletta, who is there. She really loves the color effect that you are getting.
Sorry?
Nicoletta is saying that she is really loving the color effect that you are getting with the stencil.
Yeah, it's really cool and it's really in keeping with the autumn colours, Federica. You know, once I get the flowers in here, it will look stunning, I think.
Quindi vedete che appunto i colori, come si dice, quelli sono perfetti per questo tono autunnale. Una volta che ci saranno anche i fiori all'interno, dopo che sarà tutto applicato, sarà ancora meglio.
So as I'm coming out out now to the sides, I'm going to start using some more Olivia, because that will help me kind of fade the design out.
E adesso, mentre si sposta più verso appunto i lati, andrà a utilizzare anche un po' di olivia per far sì che appunto il design vada a sfumarsi quasi mentre esce.
Just a tiny bit of the orange there. And as I'm coming out now, I'm going to come in with some Olivia. And I think it's time for me to move on to the second stencil, because this one is getting really overloaded with paint and it's not sticking to the surface anymore.
Adesso probabilmente anche cambiare lo stencil, anche perché questo più che altro ovviamente ha molta pittura sopra e quindi è il caso di
So can you see there where I've used the Olivia, it's starting to vanish.
vedete che dove è stato utilizzato olivia inizia a mescolarsi quasi al vestaglio.
That's still a bit wet. Just bring it on. So again, I'm going to use Olivia.
E di nuovo parto con olivia.
A little bit of the paste.
Di nuovo un po' di pasta.
Changing brush. I'm going to just a little bit of the pigments.
E anche un po' di pigmento.
What's that stuff on there? Okay. Right, I'm just going to turn that round, guys. You see how it's starting to disappear over here. What am I doing? I'm just coming in with the paste.
Di nuovo riparte con la pasta.
A little bit of the Olivia.
Un po' di olivia.
I don't want the stenciling to stand out around the edges, because it's going to clash with the big pieces of moulding I'm going to put on it. So that's why I'm using the Olivia.
Il motivo per cui sta utilizzando olivia è proprio per andare a riprodurre lo stencil, perché non vuole che sia troppo visibile, troppo sottolineato ai lati, perché andrà a mettere comunque dei tratti molto grossi e quindi preferisce
bit of the paste.
E un po' di pasta.
And a little bit of the pigment. And there, my friends, you have it. So I'm just going to take that. So can you see how it's fading out around the border there? And that's because when I get my big mouldings on, and I get them painted in Olivia, it's not going to clash too much with my mouldings. I want that, and it'll make it look more concave as well. And then this beautiful piece will be in the middle. You won't recognise it next week, but I'm going to leave it there for now, guys. For part 2 next Tuesday. Just let me show you what it looks like. I'm just going to stand it up so you can all see.
Quindi abbiamo visto il risultato, appunto vedete che lo stencil va a sfumare quasi verso i lati, proprio perché poi quando verranno applicati i tratti più grossi, che verranno colorati anche questi con olivia, non andranno a contrastare appunto lo stencil. Adesso lo lascerà ad asciugare e vedremo poi il resto nella parte 2.
So you see there around the edges how important why I did that with the Olivia. The effect it gives you. You could almost leave it like that if you had a well cut out shape. I don't, but it gives it like a concave look.
Quindi se si avesse una forma perfetta si potrebbe anche tranquillamente lasciare così, solo che oggi appunto, come dicevamo prima, Soli non ce l'ha ed è per questo che andremo a mettere i fogli.
So my friends, that's it for today. Thanks ever so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Federica, I hope everybody enjoyed this. I love doing it. I love the colours on here. Very autumny, Halloweeny. And I will see you all next week.
Quindi per oggi ci salutiamo e speriamo che questo progetto vi sia piaciuto. Bye Zoe.
Bye Federica. Thank you darling. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye guys. Thanks for watching.